We became instead a city of education, a city of having the central hospital of the whole region, and so on and so forth. One or two big companies, but generally it's knowledge driven in many ways. So I would say that when we talk to regional representatives, because we're only 1 year in, so that means that all our citizens do not really know yet what it is. So, but we know we are important for the region, and Neolaya is also important for the region in the sense that they want to learn themselves also. Our representative for the region says, I wonder how things are done in Czech Republic with regards to this, or in Spain, or in France, or Cyprus even. So we see the interest from the regional representative, both with regards to politics, with regards to companies, with regards to organizations of public organization, non-governmental organizations. So. And they think this is fun. They think they are very curious about what this can give, and they want to participate. So, and then what the outcome will be? We know that there will come a lot of students from other countries. They will see perhaps they will come back as tourists later on. Also, who knows? Or if they stay for a year, perhaps they even find a spouse or something like that and settle. I don't know, but that's the long term. But today it's curiosity, it's the will of doing something, and it's a will to learn and teach others. So, or exchange experiences, I would rather perhaps coin the word or the sentence. Yes.
Bueno, pues esa zona de Örebro, ¿verdad? Es especialmente está dedicada al sector de la agricultura, con par de compañías también dentro del tejido empresarial. Tiene el hospital central, pero sobre todo se caracteriza en los últimos años por ser un centro dedicado al tema de la educación. ¿Hasta qué punto la región conoce el proyecto o la alianza de Neolaya? Bueno, todavía no es conocimiento generalizado porque evidentemente es un proyecto a largo plazo, pero sí que es cierto en este caso que destaca que los ciudadanos tienen interés, tienen curiosidad y sobre todo participan. Y no solo es el hecho de cómo funciona o cómo está funcionando Neolaya en su propio país, en su propia región, sino también qué es lo que se está haciendo en otros países, ¿no? Que básicamente cumple también con esa idea que ya se ha fundamentado aquí de la propia proyección transnacional. Pero insiste en que es algo a largo plazo y evidentemente los resultados se verán dentro de un tiempo. Incluso destacaban no solo en 4 años, sino en 5, 10, evidentemente será algo creciente. I was having some ideas about the Welcome Center here. Would you say that Ostrava is a welcome center?
Yes, I hope so. Actually, now we have this slogan for recruiting new students. I just showed a video yesterday to colleagues here that it's called like Ostrava, this is your new story in your life, So Ostrava, in a way, is similar to all the cities in Neolaya in the sense that it's a regional capital, I can say, is the third largest city in the Czech Republic, but it has around 300,000 inhabitants, so it's not really a big city. And the most important characteristics has always been, the industrial heart of the Republic. So Ostrava used to be medieval city already, but very small. And it started to grow with the Industrial Revolution because coal was discovered. So actually, we were called the steel heart of Czechoslovak Socialist Republic, going back to that era. So a heavy industry center, which means that after the revolution, after the change of the regime, but also, the technological development of society, Europe-wise and globally, has meant big changes. So Ostrava is very, very different from what it was just 30 years ago. So most of the coal mines are all closed down. So there is just one functional closed mine, which is like 30 kilometers from Ostrava in a different town. We still have one big plant, steelworks and ironworks, but most of them closed down or they have changed the production. So Ostrava has changed, and instead of that, a new university has grown, University of Ostrava, because there are two universities in Ostrava, Technical University, that was very much related to coal mining, ironworks and steelworks. And University of Ostrava used to be just a faculty of education before, and now it's a comprehensive university. So due to this history, we are still a region in transition, so still sort of fighting with post-industrial heritage. Sometimes it's nice cultural heritage, industrial sites, but sometimes it's also brownfields. So this is one of the area how we help the region with research, how to work with this. This is related to big social changes because we had like thousands of people working in heavy industry, and one plant after another, one coal mine after another closing down, they had to change their life or they requalified. So we are still a region with the lowest average level of education among the population.
The lowest?
The lowest in the Czech Republic. Within the Czech Republic, we have the lower number of inhabitants with higher education. So this is a big potential. So actually, even though the demography in the Czech Republic goes down, we still see high interest in studies at our university because the new generation wants to study. We have a lot of first generation students, and this brings specific challenges because not all the families saw the value in education before. Many of the families were very much, tied with the home environment. So we need to inspire students to go out for mobility, for example. Not all of them are ambitious to do that. So I think this is something that we share also with some other Neolaya universities. And actually we see it as a great potential. And the impact, of course, is hard to be seen in such a short time, but I would have like two examples, very specific bottom-up examples. We are already using the network we've built of relations in Neolaya for the benefit of the city. So, for example, I cooperate with the city council. They have a large Erasmus project for school teachers from Ostrava, going abroad and observing lessons, visiting schools. And thanks to Neolaya, I actually could arrange for them a visit in Bielefeld, where they have an experimental school, primary and junior high. So thanks to that, they already went there and they are going again this year. They already built their own contacts because it's really an inspirational school. So this is what we try to do at universities, show, use it. City council, regional council, different institutions use the potential we can offer in the alliance. And the other bottom-up initiative that I think can have big impact is Neolaya internships. So we are organizing internships in all Neolaya countries, guaranteed at local companies and institutions, but the quality is guaranteed by the university. So it's based on the cooperation between the university and the local companies. And this will bring students from all the Neolaya countries into industries, and institutions. So I think going beyond the academic bubble and networking people from industries internationally is a big thing, especially, for example, for us, because we are a pretty monocultural country. Czech Republic is pretty monocultural in comparison with different disciplines and expertise. So I think this is an achievement, and now I think it was formative, and now we can start to accelerate some of the activities, even though many activities have been already developed and new programs established. But, the management, you don't think about this that much when you prepare the project. You focus very much on the content, on the goals, research, cooperation goals, and so on. And then suddenly you realize that the first year, you actually invest most of the energy into how to organize such a huge alliance, 9 universities with I think it's 150,000 students altogether, and it's thousands of employees. And you need to prepare everything to cater for everybody to be able to get involved in the future. So, I mean, these management skills like intercultural communication, intercultural management skills was a big task for the first year, and I think we are doing well.
Bueno, hay evidentemente sintonía en la respuesta de nuestros dos invitados. En este caso, Renata fundamentaba también esa idea de ese primer año como formación, como adaptación, como pues precisamente lo que decía, ¿no? Llegar a una sintonía entre esas 9 universidades, entre los líderes de cada paquete, que también se han tenido que formar, evidentemente, porque no es lo mismo tratar de definir cuestiones en un ámbito nacional o en un ámbito local que hacerlo en un ámbito internacional. Hay que adaptarse a cuestiones, como ya se han indicado, la organización de temas que tienen que ver con la sinergia entre culturas y también pues el desarrollo en esta propia formación y en esta propia organización de algunas actividades que ya se han realizado dentro de este primer año de formación y otras que todavía quedan por hacer, ¿verdad? Además, fundamentaba Renata, es complicado y es complejo pues manejar un proyecto en el que están involucradas más de 100.000 alumnos y alumnas, ¿no? De las diferentes universidades. Y no solo alumnos y alumnas, sino también miembros de las plantillas, porque una universidad, evidentemente, no solo la constituye el profesorado y el alumnado, también hay PTGAs y miembros de administración, ¿verdad? So the organization, you said that, you laid an emphasis on this, isn't only dealing with teachers, not only dealing with students, but also with more members in the staff. How to do this?
Well, I don't know if there is one recipe for that, or not. You have to change as you go along, I guess. And I mean, I think this will be in the background all the 4 years or 5 years or whatever. But I mean, everyone has to be there. All university has to, or people from all universities have to contribute and be heard. And it's about compromising. I mean, it's a democracy, isn't it? And we always have to compromise to get the best thing out of what everyone can contribute with. So. Of course, since the 3 universities are sort of a leadership here, we sometimes have to help a little bit with the formations and solve some issues. But otherwise, I think it's up to the people working actually to find the compromises.
Compromise, that's a concept, once again, not an abstract concept in this case, but something concrete.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, when I mentioned that we learned a lot, about each other's cultures, we learned a lot about Europe and how nice and enriching and at the same time how difficult it is to bring people together and keep them together. So, for example, we worked on charters that should somehow show the policy that we would all like to pursue. 2 charters now is a charter of language policy, somehow, balancing the use and the fostering of English as a lingua franca and English as a medium of instruction, and at the same time taking the most, making the most of the richness of languages we have in Neolaya, because we have no English-speaking countries. So English is purely language of communication, but then you have all those languages of identity. So actually the charter, it seemed to be a straightforward thing, but still there were so many discussions actually, and I learned so much about the different approaches to language in different countries, different cultures. So it was not really a fight, but we had even hot discussions about that. Not all the opinions were aligned. And I think it's an achievement. It's actually, an activity led by University of Jaén. And it looked like an easy thing, but it was very difficult to actually lead the activity. But we've achieved. Now we have a charter which has been agreed on by all the universities. And now we are also in the process of the Charter of Diversity and Inclusion. Again, it's reviewed by all the universities. So yes, definitely compromise. I must say that from the very beginning of preparing the project, actually, Jaén was the university that started that, invited others in 2019. And I must say what I really appreciated, and all my colleagues, that from the very beginning, we had a very high communication culture. So there was always a lot of respect. There was always space for everyone to contribute. Everyone had the voice. And I think we managed to keep this. And this is extremely important because when you have diversity, you need to have respect for the diversity. Respect that when you find something strange, it just does mean that you don't know what's behind. That's it. Yeah, it's not strange. It's just your lack of knowledge of something. So yes, I think compromise at its best. Hopefully. Others would say the same.
Bueno, la verdad es que efectivamente Neolaya supone conjuntar lo que es la acción, lo que es la contribución de diferentes agentes, en este caso personal docente, investigador, alumnado, personal de administración y bueno, decía que, bueno, yo le preguntaba cómo hacer esto, ¿no? Cómo liderar esto, cómo de alguna forma, bueno, pues tener las habilidades para dirigir algo así, ¿no? Para conjuntar diferentes intereses. Y él decía que reía diciendo que no hay una fórmula única, ¿verdad? Esto es parte de trabajo diario, contribución colectiva y sobre todo destacaba y enfatizaba el concepto de compromiso y corresponsabilidad. El compromiso que además nos sirvió como enlace, ese concepto nos sirvió como enlace para la pregunta para Renata, que bueno, destacaba que esto es algo como no solo hay que llegar a la cima, sino que hay que mantenerse, ¿no? No solo hay que unir a los agentes que trabajan, sino que hay que preservar esa unión en el tiempo, algo a lo que también aludía a que afirmaba que no es una cuestión solamente de un año, sino que es una cuestión de 4 años, ¿no? Que hay que tenerlo en el background, que hay que tenerlo siempre presente. Y Renata, en este caso, aludía específicamente al idioma, cómo comunicarse, cómo entenderse, cómo negociar el significado. Y decía, bueno, el inglés es la lengua franca, pero hay países que no tienen el inglés, ¿verdad?, como lengua y hay que entender que el idioma es algo que define la identidad de cada país. Y por lo tanto, para preservar esa identidad de cada país, para preservar la voz y el voto de cada uno de esos países, pues bueno, hay que establecer esa negociación, ¿no? Y aludía, y es una cuestión que le voy a plantear ahora a José Ignacio, aludía al peso, a la responsabilidad que se tiene cuando se lidera un proyecto como este, ¿no? Porque me voy a quedar también con algo que dijo Renata. Aquello que nos parece extraño no significa que no sea real, sino que simplemente probablemente refleja una falta de conocimiento por nuestra parte. José Ignacio, liderar algo así, es decir, no solo es el hecho de que se entiendan las 9 universidades, sino que puede llegar el momento en el que no haya un entendimiento y ahí tenga que estar la Universidad de Jaén, ahí tenga que estar el Vicerrectorado de Internacionalización, ahí tenga que estar José Ignacio para, bueno, liderar y decir...
Sí, Julio, a ver, es complejo, ¿eh? O sea, esto es un aprendizaje continuo. Yo sí que quería contribuir un poco a la reflexión anterior, o sea, y de hecho la ligo con la pregunta que me haces. Es decir, efectivamente hablábamos de compromiso y de aprendizaje, es un entrenamiento en el respeto, porque al final, es decir, las alianzas de universidades europeas, es decir, nosotros muchas veces lo discutimos, es decir, hay un proyecto con una serie de hitos, de actividades, pero el éxito de las alianzas de la Universidad Europea no sería el de cumplir en fecha y tiempo, o sea, en fecha y en forma con los compromisos o con los hitos, sino que esto se trata de hacer hacer sostenible esta relación y de cambiar el funcionamiento